Alrighty, so I want to talk about the favorite items that we have here, right? We have 4 new favorite items coming into the game, being Helm, Drake, Miranda, and Milk. I'm actually most excited. They're not in the game yet, unfortunately, but I'm actually most excited for Milk's, just because Helm, Drake, and Miranda kind of all have had use at some point in the game. Milk has been in the game since release, and she's been one of the worst characters in the game since release, right? And it's so unfortunate because I think she's a cooler character in the game, look wise and stuff like that, right? She definitely has drip and stuff like that. She's a cool character. So we're gonna kind of just go over these 4 characters, and I'm just gonna kind of like talk about what I think they should do or what they could do for their favorite items. Obviously this is not what they are going to do. I mean, I don't know, maybe they will, but I'm just going to kind of give suggestions for these 4 characters. So let me just go ahead and find them real quick if I can do that, and then I'll add them into there. Helm is there. Where's Drake? I hope they make Drake good as well, just because I have her Gacha costume skin, and I felt like, okay, at that time when I was getting Gacha costume skins, it was like, okay, I wanted them all because they look cool. But like now I realize it's actually a waste if I'm not going to be using the characters. Drake's is still one of the best ones with the Bugatti and everything. Very, very cool. What color is your Bugatti? But let's start off with Miranda. And go down the list. Now, if you guys don't know, Miranda actually already got a buff in this game before, right? Before they had this whole favorite item system, they used to just buff characters regularly. Miranda was one of those characters who got a buff. Let me see if I can actually find a video to tell you guys what she got from what she had from the very start of the game. So here, they didn't give her much, but this is what she got basically. It was just this. They only changed the hit rate of her first skill and then added a completely new mechanic of that skill, right? That was her buff. So before it was just the land 30 normal attacks, all allies get hit rate. That was it. Then when she got buffed a year ago, they ended up making it after 30 normal attacks affects all allies with submachine guns, they get more hit rate, right? And so I'm assuming they're going to cater to submachine gun characters still with this character, just because it's like that's what they kind of did before. Nobody needed that. There was no submachine gun characters in the game that needed hit rate like that for real. They had no reason to buff up her and cater her to submachine gun characters. That's what I'm trying to get at, right? What could they change about her though? I think they could change a lot. Right, I feel like they could change a lot. I feel like this whole first skill, just get it out the way. The hit rate is cool. Yeah, after 30 normal attacks, you get hit rate. They're gonna have to either increase that percentage high up, or just add more to that skill and then let those still be there, or just completely delete them. Because I feel like these are just pointless, right? Especially the submachine gun like allies only. You guys gotta make that at least like where submachine guns are shooting like snipers. That would be a crazy buff, right? The second skill, wake up, at the beginning of a full burst, affects all allies crit damage for 10 seconds. Increase the crit damage number, I would say. Just increase the crit damage number to like 50+%, and then also give crit rate, right? The whole thing with her is that on her burst skill and her second skill, she gives crit damage but no crit rate. Give crit rate on her second skill and even give crit rate on her burst skill, right? Or this is what I would say. Give her crit rate on her second skill to all allies and the crit damage to all allies, and increase the percentage of the crit damage at the beginning of a full burst, because then that's going to make people want to use her all the time, right? And then for her burst skill, if they're still going to cater to one ally with the highest attack, that attack number has to go all the way up. That crit damage number has to go well over 100-something%, right? That's what I'm trying to get at, right? If they're going to make it like that where it's catered to one ally, then increase those numbers a big time. But if they want to change it from one allies to all allies and keep this, by all means, that's a lot, like that's good, right? Make it that all allies get these buffs, because then she will actually be very usable, very usable, and she's going to be very good for Elysian Tower and stuff like that. But yeah, that's all I would say. Give some type of attack damage buff here, or some type of like helpful mechanic here, cooldown reduction, whatever you want to do here, and then crit rate, crit damage here, and then either increase these, or yeah, that's what I would say to do for her. When it comes to Helm, I really think they can make Helm one of the best healers in the game. Easily, right? They could make it that every full charge that hits affects all allies crit rate of normal attacks increase, right? That's what I'm thinking they could do for her. Make it that it's not just the last bullet and it's a full charge, or make it that it's all allies get crit rate in general when the last bullet hits, and then increase the 5 seconds to 10 seconds, increase the crit rate percentage just by a tad bit, and then make that all allies of just anything, not just normal attacks. That's what I feel like they could do for her first skill. For her second skill, damage interruption parts all allies permanently. 2% is great. They're probably going to increase that to a maximum of 7%. I could see them doing, but they're definitely going to keep that. The attack damage buff when entering a full burst affects all allies. Increase that up. They've been giving crazy attack damage buffs to a lot of these burst 3 characters. For her to give an attack damage buff at 9% for 10 seconds just by entering a full burst, if they increase that number up big time and then do what I said to do with the normal attack crit rate thing, or just a crit rate first skill mechanic, you have a beloved character. And then on her burst skill, make it that number 956%. This is all level 5 skills, of course, but make that the max number way higher as well. I would say, or it doesn't even have to be that much higher, because she's not even like, it could just stay at that, or they could make it just a bit higher. It doesn't really matter to me, because she's not really a DPS, to be honest. But that heal, Helm is going to become a crazy healer. If they fix this heal percentage, whether they give her HP potency, whether they're giving her freaking just more recovery, whatever they're doing, a shield or whatever they want to do with that, whatever they're doing with that, they're going to make her crazy. They can easily make this character crazy by just changing the percentages of this character skill. Maybe add more to the first skill as well, crit rate and crit damage of normal attack. If you're going to do it like this, that could be another good thing. But other than that, I feel like what I've said is some good options as well, right? When it comes to Drake, let's work with Drake. So at the beginning of a full burst, hit rate and attack percent up for 10 seconds, all allies. That's all. I feel like Drake for the longest was one of the best sub DPSs you could have as that burst 3 flex slot character. I would honestly genuinely say make her just that again. Make her a broken flex burst 3 sub DPS again, right? They could increase these numbers. I don't really feel like we're gonna need that hit rate to be all that crazy. They could make that attack become attack damage if they want, or they could just make it attack still. It's fine. Just increase that number a lot. Right, give these characters like a reason for me to like make these characters that good where I have a reason to actually put them on my team, because what they've been doing for their last favorite items, all of them are good. They're 5 for 5 on favorite items, I would say, right? Their second skill activates after 10 attacks, affects 3 enemy units with the lowest remaining HP, deals 76% final attack as damage. That 76% is gonna have to cut. We're gonna have to cut that out and bring that to like 700%. Okay, that's just a reach, but way like triple digits. And I'm not talking like, oh, not over 100, maybe minimum 220%. That would make her crazy. That would make her crazy. And then just keep the burst skill. If they make that first, no, because she's a shotgun, so it wouldn't even be all that crazy, to be honest. It wouldn't even be all that crazy, to be honest. They could easily make that second skill a lot more higher because she's a shotgun character. 10 normal attacks. This is not like Summer Anise, where whenever the last bullet hits, this is 10 normal attacks regardless. So after 10 normal attacks, why is it only dealing 76%? At level 5, that should be way higher. That's easily should be way higher. And honestly, they could even add more to that Thunderbolt where they're doing, maybe she does like an additional damage or something as well, right? Maybe when the last bullet hits like Summer Anise, they could give her a mechanic like that. I feel like that would be a reach. But if not, that skill, either add something onto it, I would say, where she does a lot more damage off that second skill specifically. And then her burst skill, they can keep it. I feel like her burst skill is okay. There's nothing really I would change her. Max ammo capacity, maybe for all allies rather than herself. But other than that, that's what I would mention for her. And then for Milk, Milk is a crazy character we're gonna have to revamp completely. So her first skill affects 2 allies with the highest attack, an attack buff of 17% at level 1 for 10 seconds. Every other 10 seconds after the first 20 seconds of the battle is pretty good, I feel like. Easily just increase that number. No, just give her completely new skills. Honestly, for this character, new skills. Her second skill though activates when HP is 80% or up, affects all allies, crit damage increase permanently. They could go crazy. crit rate. All these characters have some type of crit rate, crit damage mechanic, but crit rate, crit damage permanently 80% or higher. Give her the Alice effect. Once she falls below 80%, then she will just constantly heal herself back to 80%. Give her the Alice effect and then add crit damage, crit rate to that as well. Increase those numbers permanently. People will use Milk. People will use Milk if she has a permanent crit rate and crit damage buff on all allies. People will use her. Guaranteed. And then for her burst skill, this right here is a atrocious burst skill. She's an attacker, actually. Right? Yeah, she's an attacker, which is crazy because her burst skill is very garbage, right? Oh, she doesn't even have she has a freaking recover all allies HP thing. She has one, but she's on a 40-second cooldown. Maybe let's bring that 40-second to 20-second if we're able to, and then just remove that whole like 20 seconds off the first skill. Make it 10 seconds, right? So after the first 10 seconds, it's basically a permanent buff to 2 allies with the highest attack. Easily just do that. Especially since you're gonna make a burst 1 character a 40-second cooldown character. That's the least you can do if you're gonna keep her at a 40-second cooldown, I feel like, right? But for Milk, they could tweak her a lot. Easily, there's a lot of little things that they could do for a lot of these characters to make them usable in 2024 going into 2025. But you guys let me know, all right? Let me know down below what you guys would change, what you guys want from each specific character or whatever character you're most excited for. But yeah, if I didn't say at the beginning of the video, it's a pre-recorded video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out. Peace.